Okay, so I want to talk briefly about a supplement called Epicatechin because it's gaining a lot of popularity in the natural bodybuilding supplement industry right now. And the promise is that it can help promote lean muscle mass and promote strength. And studies have also shown that lower myostatin actually leads to decreased amounts of body fat. So, you know, imagine that. Increased muscle mass and decreased body fat percentage. You can easily see why it's gaining so much popularity. And the way that this works is you have a protein in your body called myostatin, and it's responsible for basically it stops your muscles from growing at a certain point. And follostatin is basically the opposite of myostatin. It promotes lean muscle growth. So myostatin is preventing muscle growth beyond a certain limit, and follostatin is promoting muscle growth. In a normal, healthy human being, you're going to have a well-balanced level. So you'll be able to build a certain amount of muscle, but then after that, you'll kind of just stay where you're at. You know, naturally, you'll stay where you're at. But you will find people who they actually have a deficiency in myostatin. I mean, I've seen pictures floating around the internet. I can't remember the name of this little boy, but he was like 3 or 4 years old, and he literally looked like, you know, he was ready to step on a professional bodybuilding stage at that age. He actually had a deficiency in myostatin, which allowed his muscles to grow like freakishly large, which, you know, a lot of guys out there would like to have that, but it would come with a lot of problems as well. So, you know, our bodies are supposed to find ways to keep themselves in homeostasis, and myostatin and follostatin are a big part of that. So anyways, back to Epicatechin. There have been several studies done. We'll start with the rat studies. They had baby rats, and then they also had older rats, and they gave them X amount of Epicatechin. I'll post a link of this study in the description. I can't remember the amounts that they were giving them, but they did find increased muscle mass and increased strength in the youthful rats and the older rats. And it's actually fairly significant to use the older rats as well, because the older you get, the higher your myostatin will get and the lower your follostatin will get. So it can be even more beneficial if you're like over the age of 30, I would say. But anyways, they got approved for some human studies as well. The way that they conducted this study was through grip strength. So they did a double-blind placebo study, and they did find, I can't remember the percent of strength increase and the percent of lean muscle mass that they were able to build, but there was a pretty significant increase. They also checked the amount of myostatin and follostatin in their bloodstreams, and it did show to actually decrease the myostatin and increase the follostatin. So it does seem like it definitely has a lot of potential in the natural bodybuilding industry, but you know, at this point I'm not sure if they have the bioavailability down correctly. You know, it's probably going to take a little bit of work, and they're going to have to work the kinks out. So I can't really recommend any Epicatechin supplements that will actually work for you at this point, but it does seem promising, and I think within the next few years we're going to see a lot more Epicatechin, because these companies are investing a lot of money in actually, you know, finding the right formula to make this stuff work. Anyways, I wish I could suggest a good supplement for you to use, and I would post a link in the description, but I just can't do that right now. You know, maybe a couple years down the road I will post a link, so if you run into this video in like 2020, there may already be a link in the description, but right now I just can't do that. Anyways, hope this video was somewhat informative. As always, I hope you get out there and you build some muscle.